Hey everybody, welcome to Aristocraft's tutorial on how to install Aristocraft 19 windshield. We have a lot of questions that surround installing the windshields, removing them, and putting them back together. So we're going to go over this just a little bit. We have the frame off of the boat and on the table. To remove the frame, if you lay under your boat and look up under the dash, you're going to see 8 wing nuts under there. A lot of times they'll unscrew and a lot of times they won't. So to get the ones that are a little bit stubborn, we use vice grips, clamp down on it, and wiggle it back and forth until they break. Then the windshield frame will come right off the boat and you can get on your work table to make it a little bit easier to work on. The first step is removing your old windshield panels from the frame. To do that, there are 2 bolts at the top of your windshield frame at the top of the sliding track. You want to go ahead and remove those 2 bolts from the top of the frame. Then the next thing you're going to do is spread them apart a little bit and tilt the center panels supports in just a little bit. At this point, it does help to have 2 people. So you'll have one person, Phil's going to hold the frame apart, and then you would slide the old panel out. You'll just take a little bit of wiggling because it was originally held in with a little bit of silicone. So you can flex the frame apart, just 2 or 3 inches is all you need to be able to get the panels out. Once you get the panels out, you can take this center panel track first, it'll slide out the bottom. So once you get those panels out, try and keep your old panels intact. Even if they break, keep both pieces. What you would want to do then is take the old panel and lay it on the inside of the new panel. It's very important that you lay the old panel inside your new panel. Lay it on there, trace it with a Sharpie marker, and then you'll use like a bandsaw or a belt sander to trim it down. Once you sand down the edges all the way around to your Sharpie line, you're ready to put them in place. So at this point, we'll have our naked frame here and our trimmed windshield panel. We trimmed these to the exact size of the old panels. All these frames were bent by hand in the factory, so no 2 panels are ever going to be the same, which is why it's important that you try and preserve your old panels to trace them onto the new ones. So to install the new panels, what you want to do is start in this bottom corner right where Bill is right there. You'll get that corner started. Then the next step is to get this back corner in here. So you'll tuck that back corner into the frame. Then do this top edge right here. Once you get the top edge started in the track, now you can come back to your last edge, which is right here. Make sure it's put in place, and it will slide right in. Once you have it in place like that, the center section should slide over and your bolt holes line up. At this point, you can take a look at your panels and decide if it's too big or too small somewhere. On this one, we traced them exact to the old panels, and it fit in there perfect. There may be minor modifications that are needed sometimes, but most of the times they should go right in. So again, start on the inside bottom corner closest to Bill. It'll slide in that corner. Then you go to this very back corner to get the tip of it in the very back corner. Then you'll get the top started in the frame, and then at the very last end, you put the bottom in. That panel is now in. Pull the center support over to make sure it lines up, and it does. So at this point, what you want to do is go ahead and put the bolts back in the top center of the frames to hold them in place. So it's a stainless Phillips screw. Alright, now that you have those center panels bolted in place, you can slide your new center glass that you have. The center panel that you have has a metal strip on the bottom which gets siliconed in place, and this top strip on top which is also siliconed onto the windshield panel. So at this point you will take it and you will slide this in from the bottom. So slide it all the way in, all the way up to the top. At this point, you can install the snap when your windshield panel gets all the way to the top. to line up with the snap on the windshield frame. And finally, the last step is to come back in silicone around the windshield panel. So run a nice clear bead of silicone around the bottom of the panel. You can run it along the top, it's not needed. This way water will drain out. We like to run them along the bottom of the panel. You are ready to install this back on your boat now. We hope you enjoyed this video of how to install a 19 window. We hope to find it helpful. Have a great day. Thank you.